How are we to realize the self? B. When the things seen disappear, the true nature of the seer or subject appears. Is it not possible to realize that while still seeing external things? B. No, because the seer and the seen are like the rope and the appearance of a serpent therein. Until you get rid of the appearance of a serpent, you cannot see that what exists is only the rope. SP. When will external objects vanish? B. If the mind, which is the cause of all thoughts and activities, vanishes, external objects will also vanish. SP. What is the nature of the mind? B. The mind is only thoughts, it is a form of energy. It manifests itself as the world. When the mind sinks into the self, then the self is realized. When the mind issues forth, the world appears and the self is not realized. SP. How will the mind vanish? B. Only through the inquiry, who am I? Though this inquiry also is a mental operation, it destroys all mental operations, including itself. Just as the stick with which the funeral pyre is stirred is itself reduced to ashes after the pyre and corpses have been burnt. Only then comes realization of the self. The I thought is destroyed, breath and the other signs of vitality subside. The ego and the prana, breath or vital force, have a common source. Whatever you do, do without egoism, that is, without the feeling, I am doing. Thus, when a man reaches that state, even his own wife will appear to him as the universal mother. True bhakti, devotion, is surrender of the ego to the self. SP. Are there no other ways of destroying the mind? B. There is no other adequate method except self-inquiry. If the mind is lulled by other means, it stays quiet for a little while and then springs up again and resumes its former activity. SP. But when will all the instincts and tendencies, vasanas such as that to self-preservation, be subdued in us? The more you withdraw into the self, the more these tendencies wither, and finally they drop off. SP. Is it really possible to root out all these tendencies that have soaked into our minds through many births? B. Never yield room in your mind for such doubts, but dive into the self with firm resolve. If the mind is constantly directed to the self by this inquiry, it is eventually dissolved and transformed into the self. When you feel any doubt, do not try to elucidate it but to know who it is to whom the doubt occurs. SP. How long should one go on with this inquiry? B. As long as there is the least trace of tendencies in your mind to cause thoughts. So long as the enemy occupy a citadel, they will keep on making sorties. If you kill each one as he comes out, the citadel will fall to you in the end. Similarly, each time a thought rears its head, crush it with this inquiry. To crush out all thoughts at their source is called vairagya, dispassion. So vichara, self-inquiry, continues to be necessary until the self is realized. What is required is continuous and uninterrupted remembrance of the self.